feet. Put them on our heads, handcuffs on our wrists. Now we running from the feds. Instead of picking cotton, now we slaving on a job site. All your modern day times, better get your mind right. Black and brown stick together because the system
Getting your freestyle on?
Can't let them come and divide us.
I love this song.
Just don't give us out in the field.
I like adore this track.
Inside the house, be the spook right.
It's funny, I gotta hit him because I want them to send me their intro. Because it's like, I think it makes more sense for our show.
Okay.
Because it's the first 20 seconds are fire and it's like an intro thing. Oh, are we live?
Yeah, we live.
Oh, shit. Hey.
Hey, so we are back. This is Activist Hour, Violence in Boston. We've been gone for a little bit. Went through something for a little bit, you know. Had to go through some things for a little bit.
But you here?
Hey. Yes, pissing people off by being alive. I'm here.
Yo, this is not a clone. This is Mo. Just so that y'all know.
Pissing people off just by being here. It's great. So I'm your host, Monica Cannon Grant. This is my co-host, Calvin Feliciano, a.k.a.
Tro J. Simpson. We'll cut the other ones because we got things to do.
Man, it feels good to be alive, Cal.
Yo, it's got to be crazy to be upsetting people by being alive.
Yo, I've never... So let me tell you. Shout out to Leroy from 96.9. Leroy put up a post and was like, yo, the dudes that tried to take out Big Papi were paid $8,000 a piece. And there's people hating on you in this city for free.
Right.
But like $8,000 ain't a lot of money. There were people sitting like, yo, you didn't die. I'm mad at Jesus. That's bananas.
That's ill.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it. It's the first time ever. Thank you, brother. I've seen it. People losing their minds on the strength of you like being here alive. That's
mind-boggling.
crazy.
It is. Calvin,
How
don't
are you
even get
dealing with that? That's a crazy thing.
So for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying? I function from a space of transparency.
Right.
So I'm gonna talk about what me and Calvin are talking about right now. So for those that don't know, what was that? A couple weeks ago now, Calvin? It's been 2 weeks. About 2 weeks ago.
Okay, right. Makes sense.
Wednesday, I was pregnant and suffered a severe miscarriage. Hemorrhaged heavily in my house to the point where I had to be rushed to the hospital and rushed into the OR. I had to get a blood transfusion and have an OR procedure. And then got rushed back to the hospital that Friday and was diagnosed with vasospasms, which is precursors to stroke.
Damn, son.
So, you know, it's going to take about a couple months before my blood levels get back to where they need to be. But in the meantime and in between time, I had to go through some people that was sitting on my page that apparently hated my guts.
Right.
And it took, so for the first one, it didn't take anything. She just came out of the woodwork. She started on Twitter with the, wow, so your friend lost 3,000 cc's of blood and didn't die, I guess. And then I guess she tagged a homegirl in who then got on Facebook with
Which one is the nail technician?
That's the Sunny.
Okay.
Who I guess apparently sent her fundraiser to Didi like a minute ago and it never got funded and she's a little upset about it. Long story short, she got on Facebook with the whole she posted this thing from Google where it was like, if you lose this amount, you should be faint.
Yo, we become WebMDs out here.
If you lose this amount, you should be dizzy and lightheaded. And if you lose 3,000, it said dead. And I was like, damn. Like, yo, we laughing now, but I was pissed. I was like, so are we mad that I didn't die? Then they went on and took it a step further, created a couple of fake Twitter pages. They named the Twitter page 3,000 cc's.
I was looking for it. It's Monica Grant 3,000. I was
cc's,
searching for it and I couldn't find it.
And I guess that was to mock the fact that that's how much blood loss that I had lost. I was like, oh, y'all are doing amazing as women of color. So then I went through that. And then maybe like 24 hours, 48 hours after that, another black woman was on my page who had sat there for like 2 years, but apparently couldn't stand me for the whole 2 years. She was just... she's like, I never agree with anything she said, but I just sat there because I believe in free speech. I was like, what the hell is happening?
That's ill.
But, you know, people don't need a reason. My thing is, and then what was even more toxic was the amount of people who, when she posted the toxic stuff, that were liking it, right?
Right.
People
Well, hold on though. You said the amount.
well, it was like 4 or 5 people, but
Right. It was
who
4
it was,
for me because somebody was blocked that I had
Yeah.
to block, but it was like really 5. She had like 7 posts on you, and they didn't have 15 likes combined.
Right. But some of the people that like the toxic stuff that was being said is atrocious. But
No.
when you think about who they are, you know, it doesn't surprise you. I just, you know, my thing is like, yo, be mad at Jesus that I'm still here. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, who was it that was like, I got hit like he got hit, but he ain't breathing.
Right.
Because I'm here for a real
Right.
reason. Wasn't
50.
that 50?
That's 50s. Right.
Like
Many
now
men.
I know I'm here for a
Right.
real reason because you got hit like I got hit, but you ain't breathing. Yeah.
Right.
So you know.
Right.
That's where I'm at right now. Like, and you know, for me, every time tragedy happened, I bust down organizing. So I'm literally organizing 3 events right now.
Of course.
A counter protest against these straight pride dudes, a black women's conference, because as black women we got to do better, and I'm even inviting the haters. I want you to come through.
Right.
I'm squad deep.
Right.
And then
right.
the block party where we're giving away 1,000 backpacks of school supplies. So the 10th, the 17th, and the 31st of August are occupied for me. I'm organizing 3 events that month. This weekend I'll be in Queens. I was invited as an honorary guest.
That's fire.
In regards to gun violence. So I guess, you know, I just made him more mad, huh, Cal?
I was thinking that this was like a huge sounds about white show, right? Because like all of it sounds about white, and some of y'all out here, it's sad, black women acting, you know, whiting a lot, right?
Oh yeah, so because a lot of the stuff that these women were saying, I ended up getting trolled by the white supremacists and them saying the same things, and I knew where they were getting it from. So it's like you.
Well, one of the women was like, I done read enough about her on Turtle, and I was like, yo, you reading Nazi websites and then being like, yo, chill, I heard it on. That's like somebody being like, I heard on Bill O'Reilly that
Right.
Obama was Muslim, so I'm running with that. Wow.
No, I got one better for you. So the white supremacist was talking about, that was something else that was said at my welfare platform because I be fundraising
Right.
for people
Right.
and stuff like that. But like, you was really contributing to white supremacy language to attack me. Like, how
Right.
do you look as a black person?
Using anti-poor languaging. She was fat shaming.
Oh yeah.
Right, you and Dee Dee Hard, she was coming at Dee Dee on that.
Yeah, she's like, you had weight loss surgery. How did you put more weight on? So I know that school was a struggle for you, but when you pregnant, you gain weight. Not only do I have a 6-month-old, but I was pregnant again back to back. It's called weight gain. That's what happens during pregnancies. But you know, I ain't the biology teacher. That's not my line of work.
You know what this reminded me of? Because it came up, I think, the other day for me in my Facebook reminders. After that situation happened with the gorilla and the kid that fell in,
Yeah.
Damali, shout out to the goddess Damali,
Yes, all right.
had this post where she was like, the next day, she was like, shout out to all the gorilla experts and parenting experts. Y'all are the real champs here. And she was mocking these people who just like, you get on this zone. So then all of a sudden, because of your hatred, you get on some WebMD. Like now you a doctor.
Yo, they was
shorty? Like,
Googling hard, like 3,000 cc's. There's no way you're still here. Scratch the fact that you produce more blood being pregnant. But y'all, you know, y'all got PhDs.
so I didn't know that, but like it sounded right.
Like, you know, you got PhDs. I never thought in a million years I would be defending living.
Yo,
What?
when you're Googling, your search engine's gonna be wild. You know how Facebook does that
Yeah.
thing? They're gonna be sending her like blood pack, like advertisements for like a month. You spent time with your homegirls, like y'all getting together and you're Googling what amount of CCs does what. Hey, wait a second, Queen, because at 1,800 CCs, you should have been woozy and we heard you. And it's like, yo, you're wildin'.
Well, my thing is that when one hates you, how they tag other people in. Like, did you just turn this into a group situation? Like, oh, you hate her too? Me too. No, but how about the one who was like, she ran for state representative and I'll never vote for her again.
Right.
I was
Right.
like, so I'm not running.
Oh, snap.
Also, I ran. Like, that's it. Like, I ran. I lost my election by 90 votes, but I ran and you haven't. Sit
Right.
down. Be humble. It's cool.
So, yo, a part of this is shout out to the folks checking in, by the way. Shout out to Wilfredo, who's already just love you, man. Shout out to Catherine, Vettel, Malachi, Sabrina. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Pap. We see Pap is here. The homie Vicente from Lawrence
Where are
is
you
here.
seeing all of this at? Can I
At
leave the
Arcade.
watch party and go look
Nope,
at?
don't leave the watch party. Right, that's the
Oh.
problem. If you want to, I'll move it here.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
can't see the Violence in Boston comments.
Right. So these are people in Fredo.
What's up,
Pat,
Fredo? Hey, babe.
You know, my homie Frankie from Brian right
Yes,
here. Shout out
sir.
to Brian and Disrupt Boston, huh?
Okay, then.
Those right, Fred. Yo, Freddie. He said those Red Cross commercials are gonna be real. They're gonna be they're gonna be asking her to
Shout out
donate
to
blood.
Shakira. Shout out to Deetra. I see you guys on my watch party, Michelle. Yeah,
Just decline it and keep going.
it's mind-boggling. Like, I never thought I would be in a position to have to defend living.
Yo, so the reason why I say that this is partially sounds about white because y'all whiting, but partially it's the Love Doctor. There's a weird connection here to the Love Doctor.
How?
You know, because like I have this theory and I think it's real. I have tracked it enough, but I feel it real to me.
Okay.
That like when you lack that sort of love at the crib, when you ain't experiencing black love yourself, when you don't experience and aren't seeing that black joy, it brings up resentment and hate.
I agree. I also think that there's some mental health aspects there as well. Like wishing death on somebody, that's crazy. Like how
Toxic.
there's people who I wouldn't spit on if they was on fire, but I would
Right.
never wish death on them.
Right.
Like, so,
Right.
but to get to the point where you hate a person that much that you friend request them and sit on their page to watch their life to then use it against them.
Right.
Like, I need y'all to stop following people you hate. It's not healthy. That's like me following Donald Trump.
That's wild.
Like, y'all sat on my page for almost 2 years.
Watching what you was doing.
Yo, and the craziest, one of the
It's kinda
chicks was
psycho.
friends with me, my husband, and Didi.
That's ill.
And he
Is
only
that the one with the like how you so she mad at you for doing GoFundMe's for people in Christ? By the way, I fucking love those things. I need
also
to
I don't
contribute
do
to one.
GoFundMe. So what we do is grassroots fundraising, right?
Right.
Direct service. So
Yep.
if somebody says they're in need, we ask for their PayPal, we post it, we tell you the details without outing that person for
Right.
dignity purposes.
Right.
And we grassroots fundraise. What she's upset is she's saying that Didi monetized what I was going through. Now this is how you sound stupid. I do this work for she said I should pay taxes. She said that I shouldn't be lazy.
Because that doesn't happen when you fundraise, I guess.
And all this other stuff. So let me correct the ignorance
Right,
because
right.
you three
Can I
sheets.
say really quick, Kat, these women are from Beantown, sadly.
Yeah.
These are Roxbury, Dorchester, other black women, sadly.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
a black dude that jumped on,
Oh yeah.
agreeing.
Yeah, he follows Turtle Boys. We don't count him though.
Uh.
So let me just clear up some stuff for the level of ignorance because you know that the back and forth on social media they was occupying too much space on my page.
Right.
But so first and foremost, we do grassroots fundraising. I am a registered nonprofit. I pay taxes, boo. Sit down, be humble.
Right.
I also work independently, right? I'm a consultant. So I can be at home with my baby and be okay. Yes, I have a husband that works and I have children that are old enough to have jobs. Like, you know, life is cool. Yes, I'm poor, but I'm comfortable poor, and there's a difference. The other piece is none of that money comes directly to me unless the person doesn't have the capability of PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. And then what I do is create a PayPal pool, because on PayPal pool it shows you how much money is fundraised and when you reach your goal for transparency.
Dope.
So it's public knowledge. So this whole mantra of me stealing money is atrocious. Then, courtesy of the language that these women were using, the white supremacists was like, didn't you make $100,000 off of the last
Right,
March?
right,
No.
right.
So we, if I had $100,000, I still wouldn't be in,
You're like,
in
I'd
my
be in
shack.
Randolph.
Hold on. In my shack in Warren Gardens, because that's what she called it.
Oh.
We raised $65,000. That money went towards the 20 organizers under Black Lives Matter that came to Boston to help me organize that march, because a lot of the activists here didn't want to touch it or talk to me,
Right.
which covered hotel expenses, plane tickets, rental
Right.
cars, food.
Right.
And then the money that was left over went to Black-led organizations
Right.
to support the work that they're doing on the ground. This is why I did the live the other day about how we built different. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
people ain't built like me. Like, I could sit and be hungry and still feed somebody else. We
Right.
built different, and they don't understand what that's like. The other piece is like, when you're outspoken to the level that I'm outspoken, you don't get a bunch of grants and stuff like that. So I'm not this
Right.
balling ass nonprofit. I literally get grants as people are comfortable, and that's
Right.
how it goes.
Right.
But I would never explain it to an individual who has 400 followers. I'm good.
So to the point of, first of all, there's not 400 followers. They got 400 views on a video.
Oh.
I've been trolling the page, not trolling it, but I've been looking at it.
Yeah.
I see she did like one of them. did a couple lives, like personal lives, similar to yours. And I swear to God, I got some screenshots. I'll show you after. Just in case people said I was lying. I channeled my black and brown woman and got receipts. Receipts. You know what I'm saying? I'm channeling the goddess and getting receipts. So I swear to God, there were videos that like she did that had 71 views. 71 views. And you're doing joints that have 500 and 600 personal joints.
Yeah.
And she was doing it on 71 views. There was another one, 20-something views. Real bad, like low. The best podcast that they even had hit 537 as of like late last night.
Right.
And that was with my view.
But the crazy thing is we wouldn't even be having this conversation had she not attacked me. I ain't never came at them for their show.
Right.
I ain't never came at her. Even though I knew me and her didn't agree on a lot of stuff, there was still a level of respect when it came to them being people of color that just went out the window. Because, like, the level of disrespect, like, Calvin, I just thank God, right, that I'm a reformed Cardi B.
Right.
Because...
again, in the words of Damali, a reformed hood rat.
Yeah, reformed hood rat. Because, like... And I'm healing and I'm trying to, you know, move forward. And since my success pisses them off, I'm all for pissing them off. But, like... You don't know how tempted I was to jump in my truck.
Right.
Because I think, you know, social media gives people a level of comfort that face-to-face doesn't.
Right.
And I think people forget that Boston is not New York. We 3 degrees of separation.
Right.
Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody. But you want to know what is dope about the fact that we're so close? And I'm going to say this, and I hope you catch it when I say it. You got to be careful when you attack people and you're going to apply for jobs.
Ooh.
You got to be careful when you attack people and you getting up to interview. You know, you got to be careful because like Mo has a welfare platform and she's low budget, but she know people in high places. You know what I'm saying? So
Illuminati.
all I'm gonna say is you was got and I ain't have to touch you. All because of your social media presence. Be mindful. I say what I say on social media because I don't answer to nobody.
Right.
But when you get up and go to a job every day, you answer to some folks. You should be mindful. There's more people in these streets that love me than hate me. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that hate me because I've either pushed accountability or they see something in me that they can't do. And none of that reflects on me or is my responsibility. There's not one of the people that hate my guts that I haven't tried to work with or uplift. So at this point, you know, it is what it is.
You know, one thing that gave me a little bit of hope through that thing is that Dee Dee went live, I think, the second day. You might have still been in the hospital. I don't know if you caught her live, but she went live. She was talking a little bit. And she was saying, this is what we got done. And she was talking about both us supporting you and also other work that got done, even through that tragedy.
Right.
Still helping people who needed help.
Right.
Like, and she made a good point that I hope doesn't get lost in all this. You could see black women wishing death on somebody. You could see these men jumping in. You could see all that and be like, wow, the world sucks.
Yeah.
People suck. You could think that, but just for the clarity, you had about 6 haters total. And like a couple thousand people who were coming together.
So let me tell you about the amazing part to this, right? Because we done gave the haters a lot of shine.
Right.
Let's talk about the amazing part. And shout out to Didi Delgado. That's
3,000 versus 6.
Right. Like that's my ace. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Shakira.
Right.
Them 3 women. Shout out to Kendra, CJ's godmother. Them 4 women held me down. Do you understand?
Right.
Set up a meal plan, a meal train, which is a calendar.
Which was dope.
Plugged in a bunch of people to make sure that me and my family ate. I didn't have to get up and cook because I was so weak from the blood loss. I'm still getting Amazon packages from Zena. Shout out to Zena, who's been sending snacks every week. Boston Market shows up on my door at least once a week. Making sure that the kids eat. Somebody ordered CJ some milk.
Pop-Tarts is rolling in. Thank you.
Yeah.
Them Capri Suns is popping. Thank you.
Somebody ordered CJ milk and diapers. When I tell you they held me down, and with the money that she did raise, I was able to take care of a lot of bills that I needed to take care of and kind of get ahead of some things.
Good.
And like pay my kids' college fees because they're both leaving to go to college. I went and took care of their senior dues.
To the hate.
I put gas in my car.
That goes to my hater question. You hating because you sit in the hospital and we got a little mob crew of people. I pull up to your crib. See Ricky out there. Shout out to Ricky. Lou comes through with a whole guru Lou. Shout out to Luana.
Yes, sir.
She comes through with this little flaming thing, yo. This little canister. Smell it. Had me open. I was like, oh my God.
So can I tell you the
family
village
was out there. We were
right.
chilling.
The village that I have is so dope. Luana, Dan, You, Ricky,
Yo.
my mom, my cousin. I was on my way to
bestie
the
Coco. Shout out to Coco.
whatever. Coco's my bestie. Shut up. As I was en route to the trauma unit at Brigham and Women's, y'all was making sure that my kids went off to prom.
Right.
So I couldn't pay for a better village. I guess that's why they hate me too, man.
And you don't even know, how old can you not be babysat? I want to babysit Jay Banger. He's hilarious. Oh my God. Yo, he is sexual chocolate. You needed to see him in rare form for that photo shoot. Yo, he was killing it. And then he was in complete form. It was a presentation. It was a show in itself. We got to have him on the show. He came out decked out in the green. Tell me why one of your sons was walking near him with a roller. And anytime one of us even touched him, he was like, yo, fam. And I was like, you can't bring the roller to the party. You're going to have a few pieces of lint there, yo.
But you know what else is amazing? And this is the part that I think that people be angry with me about. I'm going to say this shit out loud. Twice, shout out to DA Rachel Rollins, sent food to the house and made sure my kids was eating while I was, healing. Shout out to my Congresswoman, Ayanna Pressley, who was on my phone, like, what's going on? What can we do? How can we help? Shout out to City Council President Andrea Campbell, sent me a beautiful card and a gift. Shout out to City Councilor Kim Janey, who sent me a beautiful card. Shout out to Jonathan Kahn, who sent me a beautiful card. Shout out to City Councilor Michelle Wu. These are all people who made sure they didn't just call, they made sure that me and my kids were straight. Who else? Oh, shout out to Attorney General Mara Haley. Cause, hey.
You know what I'm saying?
And last
to the Illuminati connects.
And last but definitely not least, shout out to Mayor Marty Walsh, man.
Hey.
Yo, that man called me while I was laid up in the hospital, asked me was I all right. He's like, whatever I need, don't hesitate. He then followed through on that when I did tell him something that I needed him to help me with. And he's like, if things don't work out the way they're supposed to, keep me posted and we'll make that call again. And I just, I'm appreciative because as much as I held that man accountable, he didn't have no obligation to pick up the phone and call me, And he didn't have there was nothing forcing him to do the things that he did, and he did it. And
it's respect.
Yo, when you out in these streets and you doing this work and you being accountable, but you doing this work with your heart, those are the repercussions.
Respect.
So absolutely. Ricky Grant, of course, I think I mentioned him. But when I tell you my squad, Martin from BLM Boston, Martin came and sat at the hospital. Shout out to my brother Dana. I woke up and it was like 6:30 in the morning and he was standing in my hospital room. And at the time he was coming through the door, Clark was calling on the phone.
Can I say we were out there having a good time.
Yeah.
Can I just say, while you were going through this awful experience, we were out there having a good old time at your parking lot. People coming by, and then we telling people yo, Mo in the hospital. People worry. The community was showing some healing there.
Yeah.
Community healing. It was so crazy. Even somebody I know don't rock with you came over and was sending love.
Oh.
We'll talk about it right after. You know what I mean? But literally, and then people were showing love, and then somebody was like, "Oh, her kid's getting ready to go," and people were so happy about that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I can't wait to get there with high school when these kids are graduating, going to prom.
Let me tell you something. For as much as people critique me and I go through what I go through, man, my stats is impeccable. I feel like the Bruins right now. I got 4 kids that done graduated high school. One's already in college. He got 1 year left. 2 going to college in September. Shout out to Johnson & Wales and UMass Dartmouth. And then next thing you know, it'll be
0 grandbabies.
Yes, sir. 0 grandbabies because I'm still dropping babies. And CJ, 6 months tomorrow. So we doing big things, I guess, the crazy thing is if people really understood me, you wouldn't hate on me, man. I do this work through struggle, pain, tiredness. I be half asleep and Calvin be on my phone talking about, so I don't want to intrude, but
if I can intrude for a second.
If I can intrude for a second, you're interested in a job, you wanna organize, you wanna do this, and it's just yo, I'm appreciative.
It was so insane, man. It was just so insane. And them kids got a send-off, you know what I'm saying? Still so worried, but got a dope send-off. We out there playing music in the limousine.
Even my ex-husband was out there.
I was scared. I was going to get beat up, right?
Stupid.
I was real shook, right? I introduced myself as E-Rock. I was like, yo, what up? My name is E-Rock. How are you? I'm trying to conceal myself. Somebody was like, hey, Troll J. And I was like, we going to ixnay on the Troll J while this brother's over here 64 about to muckle my face in. He had them strong hands to them, like I've been an iron worker for 40 years hands. I was shook. He pulled up in a truck. Once they said like, oh, that Mo baby daddy, I was like, oh snap. I was so scared. And your mama, I seen her. I was trying to be so nice. I was like, oh, they go to grandma. Let's get some pictures.
Yo, I'm so done.
I'm like, yo, you put the G in grandma. You know what I'm saying? And she was dying laughing. She's like, how you know my baby? I was like, well, you know, like I'm a rapper. I was doing the whole E-Rock thing. I was like, I'm a rapper. I'm into spiritual stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she even be messing with that dude Calvin. But listen, I love your daughter, and we're just out here trying to support.
Yo, you stupid.
I was shook.
Yo, you're a mess.
You can't get beat up by a dude and then some lady with like a big old hat. Like I wasn't trying to get that Sunday afternoon beat down by mama. I wasn't even ready for that.
Yo, you're stupid. But you know, the most amazing part was just having a support.
Oh snap!
We got a call. Who it is? Who there? Hello? Hello?
Caller, who that? Who there? We hear you.
You can hear the TV.
Right.
Oh.
Caller.
Well, Brian, hang up. No airplay. They'll call back.
That might be the haters.
It might be.
We've been getting that for months. The ghost call-ins. They're hilarious.
Matter of fact, Brian, we're not taking no calls tonight.
That means you calling, you psycho.
Yeah.
Right. If you want to call in, hit us on the side and we'll
Right.
figure something out.
Yeah.
But like that
We
means
taking no
you're
calls.
watching now, you psychopath. It's a beautiful day out.
Hey, man.
Get your life.
Look, my thing is even through the midst of them doing what they did, every post I put out was like, I still want them to win. I still want you to be successful. I want you to win. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you, I've had a hard lesson in karma. And I'm a true believer that you ain't got to do nothing to people. They will sabotage themselves. So,
Right.
But don't mistake that. I'm like Erykah Badu and said, so the sage and incense can turn into Colt 45 and
Right.
Newports at the drop of a dime. Just don't push the limit, man.
Right.
Don't push
You know,
the
to remind me,
limit.
you know that movie, it's not I Think I Love My Wife. What's the movie, Why Did I Get Married?
Yeah.
You saw that movie? I love both of those
Yeah.
movies. You saw the one where she had seen the girl who took her man and went on the, remember that? That
Yeah.
she had lost weight a little bit. She popped
Oh, in the bathroom? And she was like, wow, I was wondering how I was going to feel when I seen you, if I was going to, jump out of a bag, whoop that ass.
Right.
But I just want to pray for you. But stay away from the wine
Then
bottles.
she was like, don't push it. And I was like, yo, it reminded me of like what Kevin Hart say about women of color. Y'all go from like psycho to regular in a quick minute.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be the last time.
Yeah, but my thing is like, what they fail to realize is that, like when you do amazing work, there's a lot of people that, and shout out to my brother Prince too. There's a lot of people that love you. And so it don't have to be me. You be somewhere, you don't know that person is my brother. You don't know that that's
Right.
my cousin. You
Right.
don't know who they are. And they be done two-piece you somewhere
Right.
because of the level of disrespect that you've shown.
Right.
And you don't know how many times I hold people off. They're like, Monica, how you want us to move? And I'm like, nah, like that's a woman of color. I don't even know how to properly address that, even though
Right.
she need to be like pimp slapped.
Right,
It's
right,
just-
right.
So I just, you got to be careful in these streets. And the crazy thing is I did a live and I was like, yo, I want all of y'all to, after that situation with James,
Right.
I was like, I want all of y'all to get together and like do one big podcast and get your numbers up, do whatever it is you
go.
need to do.
Let's go.
Or call my phone and let's address the issue. I ain't get no calls. So
Right.
anything somebody posts on social media from this day forward is you internet thugging.
The little bar that you be having that I love is, if it ain't directed, it ain't respected.
At all. Tag me.
I like that.
Tag me.
If it ain't
Call
directed,
me.
it ain't respected.
Call my phone. Because, like, I'm not hard to find. But nobody wants to have that conversation because social media gives people a false sense of comfort to be disrespectful.
Plus, since we said the name one time, I don't know if I say it again, Sunny Die, how is you coming at Mo on why you raising money to give freaking poor kids backpacks? You should be raising money to send yourself through nail school? Like, what's up, yo? Like, what's up, yo? And I'm all cool with that. I'd have sent you $20. Shout out to Didi. She was like, damn, I wish I saw this because we would have helped you
Yo, and the
out.
crazy
We
thing
coulda
is
helped you.
the crazy thing is Didi was genuine. Didi's like, yo, I get it. Because usually when we're being attacked, she's not the first black woman to attack us. Usually when we're being attacked, it's coming from a place of hatred or you
Right.
feel slighted in some way. You feel like you've been left out or whatever the case may be. So, like, Didi was genuine. We could have fundraised. Had I got the message, have posted it, and I would have been like, right, done, share.
Right.
I would have opened up my network.
I see the post right now. Yo, we got a young black woman from the community trying to do her thing and do this nail technician thing. Let's see if we can help her out so she can take this test. So that's a reportedly okay.
Yeah.
But then helping some woman who can't pay her rent.
So I committed that for this month I'll be raising money specifically for LGBTQI, gender non-conformative, non-binary people in honor of Pride. Day before yesterday, we did a fundraiser for a queer friend of mine. He got $450 for some moving expenses. We did another one for this amazing young woman named Netta, who is organizing the first urban music event out in Fall River.
Fire.
And she needed $300. We did that. And then yesterday we hit goal for $650 for a black trans woman to insure her car. So like, we out here fundraising, making sure that our people get the things that they need. Don't be mad.
Right.
If you need help, say you need help.
Right. Would have hooked you up. She probably mad because Didi didn't see the message. And so
but it went to her
later,
other box, and this is before all of the changes through Facebook. So she had to go back and look. Also, Didi has like, she's maxed out on friends.
Right.
So, and she has over 10,000 followers. So things get lost in the shuffle.
And she a black and Latina woman, so that's she got receipts on you. Like, I'm not saying this because I heard it from Didi. She had the screenshot that showed the link, the GoFundMe, the everything.
Yeah.
It had
we
the
just gotta do
description.
better. Don't let it get to the point where it's hatred and envy and you ready to wish death on somebody all because you haven't gotten to where you feel like you need to be. Listen, had it not got to that point before, like they was both friends on my Facebook, I would have had them on the show. I would have did whatever I could to uplift what they were doing because that's how I roll. But what you won't do is be disrespectful and try to take me and my family down. Like, nah.
It's insane.
That's bananas. And you have way too much time on your hands.
Shout out to Peter. Shout out to Beba. A couple people jumping in on this thing. Shout out to Angel, who's sending some love from Brockton.
Yes, sir.
It's all dope, man. It's all dope. Shout out to Vicente sending some love from Lawrence. But yeah, no, they were wilding out. Beba, to your point, they were absolutely wilding out. You're wishing death on somebody. You want some WebMD. Like, nah.
And shout out to the people who was liking the statuses. Like, we seen you too. It's cool though.
Right. And you know what's crazy? To the point of that, thank you for bringing it back to that. To the point of hating and not wishing death. There's a bunch of people that I don't like, that I don't wish death. Death is even going so far. On that situation, we wasn't even calling for your job. Could have had you in some real problems out here. Could have drugged you and didn't do it. Like, there's a bunch of people that I don't like that I wouldn't want to see unemployed because I don't think it's funny to be playing with people like that.
Do you know how many people that I literally can't stand? And somebody asked me, should these people be fired and not get jobs? And I was like, nah, I'm not interrupting nobody's livelihood. They got to feed their kids. And so to be that person and get attacked and have somebody like stuff where somebody is calling for your head is bananas to me, especially when we in community together and you supposed to be an organizer or a community leader. That's why I'm like, yo, I'm not following nobody that's about to lead me down a ditch.
Right.
Like, none of y'all can be a leader for me because where are you going? If you can't tell me where you going, then where we going?
Salted. You do dishonorable things and then you feel bad about said things and then now you come on the attack.
Oh, yeah.
It was completely insane, yo. And it's like, look, none of y'all, like, you got to deal with your own demons, man. You out here putting your hands on women. Deal with those demons. Deal with that. I bet that hurts. I'm down to talk to you through that. Like, let's get together on that. We could have had a circle.
Yeah,
did a nice little circle.
Listen.
But no, you come on 2 years later and you wishing death and you doing all these things. It's disgusting, man.
It's beyond disgusting, but man, they'll be all right. Shout out to my kids though, who held me down. They was literally creating alias pages to jump in and defend me. Like, it was bananas, yo. My kids is something serious. I didn't even know it was them who was commenting back until they told me when I came downstairs. I was upstairs and they're like, Mommy, we seen. And that's the other piece too, Cal. When people do stuff like that, they don't realize that your children be on social media. Right. You know what I'm saying? So my kids were seeing a lot of the vile stuff that was being said about me. Right. But you're supposed to be this businesswoman, whatever. And so my kids was like, yo, who is these people? And your whole reason for hating me is because of a disagreement. Like, we got to do better.
Yeah. And y'all got to do better in life. Get you some black love. I understand that it's hard. Get you some love. Get your life. You be mad seeing a whole person with a family, with a man who adores her and treats her like a queen in real life.
Facts.
Like with kids who are striving and doing their thing, with a community that respects her.
The crazy part is they see that, but they don't see all the stuff I had to go to get to that. They didn't see
Right.
when I was running on the blocks, like telling my son, like, if you gonna be out here, we gonna be out here. And eventually he didn't want to be out there. Like, you don't see the back and forth running to the school, ready to drag your kids down the hallway for not doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
You don't see the struggle. It took a lot to get to this point, and I think people equate social capital to monetary capital.
Right.
I got a lot of phone numbers of a lot of famous people. That don't mean that my rent is paid up for the year.
Right.
Like, so
It's okay. Even that thing with the new mission fees was insane.
yeah.
Yo, y'all are so corny. I hate what like this mentality does to us because it puts us in such a slave
They need
place.
to learn responsibility. Who? I'm the parent. They the child.
Right.
Let me tell you something. And white families, kids can graduate high school, graduate college, go to Europe, explore their life, come back, figure out what they want to do before they're forced into adulthood.
Right.
Our kids turn 12 or 13, and it's like, sucks to be you. Good luck. We'll get back at you.
Catherine said, I'm taking off, but Monica, keep your head up. People hate you because of how much people love you.
Yeah, that part. That part. And so I tell my kids on a regular basis, you ain't grown. My son's 20. He walk around my house, Mommy, can I? Mommy, I'm getting ready to leave. Mommy, I'm here. Mommy, because you're not grown. Your brain is still developing. You can't pay all of these bills. You can't
Right.
do all of this stuff. Of course, I'm teaching you and I'm training you, but I'm not going to dump you out on the street or stop parenting you because you know how to wipe your own behind. That's not
Right.
how it works.
Right.
And so,
No babies, no convictions.
no convictions,
You
no
ain't got
babies, no
You ain't got no
grandkids.
convictions, yo. We're all that's like goals. Like that's what we're trying to get. As someone who has a 14-year-old, that's where I'm trying to be when that kid's 20 is to be able to be like, he ain't got no convictions,
Right.
he ain't got no babies,
Right.
and he moving on with his life.
Right. And my kids have parents that care. Even my ex-husband, in between his dysfunction, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, shout out to Pat, man. Shout out to Black Love, man.
Yo. And my husband is dope, yo.
That was ill.
My husband is
That
dope.
was ill. That was ill in real life.
Yeah, like
Um,
my husband, he'll get out here and shoot the ones over his
Right.
wife. And I'm
Right,
like,
right.
you gotta breathe. You can't be fighting everybody.
right.
But just the way that we navigate, I think, pisses off a lot of people. Well, any given time you come to my house, you'll see my ex-husband and my husband, like the three of us sitting around a table having a conversation, because that's just where we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Modern
it's,
families.
listen, it's not all gravy. There's days when I want to choke the hell out of my ex-husband, but at the end of the day, we're doing what we know how to do for the survival of my children, because they're still children.
Right.
And I think, people look on from the outside in and they're like, but you don't know what my life is like, man.
It was too
Crazy.
much.
It was
too
a
much.
lot. It was a lot.
And then like we get into these places where like we believe what these white people tell us. So they like, oh, them kids got to learn this, learn that. Let me tell you something. We moved out of BPS, out of middle school, because we just couldn't find a good middle. Like we just couldn't do it.
Right.
Me and his mama. We're in a suburban school district. He just graduated 8th grade. It's 97% white, right?
Right.
They're not asking. You talking about these kids need to learn. They don't do that in the burbs. They're not doing that to rich white kids in the burbs who literally have the money to do it. They're not doing any of that.
Right.
They're saying like, actually, no, yeah, we'll learn responsibility. You know how they would learn responsibility through the books.
Right.
Not through forcing your parents, who in many cases don't got the money to pay extra and this and that. And people were like being like, oh, I paid that fee and I paid this fee. They're two different fees. She ignorant. And I'm like, you're not even seeing the problem of these fees. Those fees are a problem. How the fuck are we having fees
Hold on.
in education?
The fees are a problem, but the last minute. The issue I had is they didn't notify nobody until the day when the seniors were due to sign out of school.
Well, one of the haters claimed that they told y'all at the beginning of the school year.
No, they did not. And it's funny that they know that, being that I know at least two of them don't have kids. So it's like mind-boggling for me that I'm arguing with somebody that has no children about my children's school. It's great. And also the information that I received about these fees being tacked on in the last minute email came from teachers inside of the school, by the way. Shots fired. Sit down. Be humble. You know nothing. So like when all of this stuff was transpiring, it was an administrator who was like, hey, they doing this and this ain't right. Can you yada, yada, yada.
Okay,
And so I
right.
did my thing. But what do I look like having a conversation with somebody that A, is not at my child's school, B, I'm the parent, C, you don't have kids. I'm wondering why we talking. Why are you so invested? But I feel like that was the pivot to an argument for recognition. I think that people purposely argue with me
Right.
so that they can get recognition and they
Right.
can say, I took her down.
Right.
I argued with Monica Cannon Grant
Right.
because immediately after I blocked her, the first thing she said is, can somebody tell Monica I'm not scared of her? And I was like, when did we talk about you being scared of me? What
Right.
does that have to do with a can of paint?
That also got like 3 likes, by the way.
And it's just like, we were talking about BPS and now you're professing that you're not scared of me. I never wanted you to be scared of me. I don't want my kids scared
Shout
of
out
me.
to Pap said they don't do that at Milton High. Like, no, they do not, bro. The Metco schools ain't doing that to them kids, bro. The suburban schools in these nice districts with kids whose parents earn, one of them earning what our whole households
But
are
it's
making.
this mentality, right? That immediately when you disagree with me, it's tell her I'm not scared of her. Clearly, you think highly of me because the first thing you jump to is fear. You think more of me than maybe I think of me because you see me as this Goliath that you would jump to, I'm not scared of her. And we weren't even discussing you being scared of me. We were disagreeing on BPS fees.
Right.
But you know.
People get mad. I remember when you did the white supremacy thing. I had people that I talked to ahead of time that were like not happy about it. Oh, she's doing this for clout. And I'm talking to them like, yo, I don't agree, da 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 da. And then they show up to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was popular, so you were like forced to attend.
Oh, so I was seeing the messages of people like, I'm not going to that. This is just for her. And
Right.
it's like, so we're going to ignore that I reached out to mad black activists here in the city who told me not to do it. But then when 45,000 people showed up in Roxbury, everybody wanted to holler at
Now
me.
you taking selfies, fighting supremacy.
You in the front behind the banner like, I was here.
It's like, come on, man.
That's
come
how
on.
it goes. Tito has this quote that I love. It's like, first they hate you, then they laugh at you. First they laugh at you, then they get mad at you, then they hate you, and then you win, or something to that
Right,
effect.
right.
And it's like, that's what happens. It's like people critique me all the time and then turn around and do what I do. It's just like with this show, right? People was like, she don't need a show. Y'all are trolls. It's not important what you have a show for. Now everybody is getting a podcast.
Everybody doing a podcast now. Shout out to y'all, and not even doing it like honorably. Like we had Alejandra and Malachi on,
Yeah.
and they did great. Now they got the little obvious nonsense podcast. I love their podcast. I
Which
show
is
them
dope.
love, and they show us love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm
some
not
of y'all
mad
are
at
doing
nobody
this.
getting a podcast. I'm just
No.
mad that you had to drag me for doing it and then turned around and copied me.
Now you're doing it. Now you're doing it. Everything that you said was corny. Now you're trying to do.
It's great.
It's
great.
so insane.
I'm just glad that, look, I put up this meme. I'm like, I'm glad that you liked my idea so much that you used it.
Right.
Because that's what it is. But at this point, Cal, I'm getting used to it. Like, I watch my intellectual property float across social media, and I'm getting used to it because it's just like, I got dogged for meeting with Mayor Walsh. Oh, you a sellout when he offered you a job and a check, and then I met with Mayor Walsh today.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
can we
Right.
not keep gaslighting
Right.
me and
It's
then
so
wanting me not
bad.
to talk about it?
To quote the homie Sean Carter, crabs don't belong in a barrel. They never taught you that.
Right.
Like, we get into this mentality where you just get mad you seeing somebody doing something. It's so crazy. But I think it's a lot to it. I also think it's your emergence to the scene.
Yeah.
You ain't been doing this 20 years like some of us. And people get on this hateration.
Yeah.
This, like, you know what I mean? People even hit me when I first was on the podcast, like, oh, like you're a co-host, second fiddle to somebody, and you've been doing this longer. And I'm like honored to support a black goddess, and this is their platform, and I'm happy to be on it, and it's okay.
Like,
But what I
wow.
felt was you wasn't worried about me.
Nah.
It wasn't really that you thought about my ego. You was
Nah.
thinking about your ego,
Right.
yours,
And why you wasn't invited. It's
and why you've been spewing out the same talking points you've had since the 70s out here, and ain't nobody respect you still outside your block.
It's
And then you got
bananas.
somebody getting awards statewide. You got somebody that just got national recognition. You got these things happening, and you're mad
Yeah.
about it. And you lonely, and you got somebody that's experiencing black love. That's not, making videos in basements and in attics with Tim's on at 11 p.m. and you didn't have them boots on all day, fam. We chilling. Pap's got flip-flops on, butt naked, making bacon on Saturdays. You ain't got no bacon on Saturday. I know it's hard for you.
Brian, he's fired.
Damn.
Brian, he's fired.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on. I understand. I almost want.
And shout out to Tito, who was at my house last night too, coming by, him and Justin, and check on me. Listen, man, I don't hate on nobody. I'm not mad that nobody's doing anything. My thing is like, let's treat people with dignity and respect and stop hating, because the amount of time they spend hating on me, like I said before, the amount of time that she spent dedicating one show to me, you could have did a whole month worth of shows and got your calendar in order, organized them, and made sure that every week you got something new and you're connecting the dots. Like, that's not me. Because they going to get this show, and then every other show, they're non-existent to me.
Maybe you and Didi need to do a GoFundMe to help them pay through medical school. Because, like, yo, if you're Googling this CC stuff but trying to be a nail tech, I feel like you're going opposite of what your passion is. You want to be a doctor. Shout out to the homie Dr. John Santiago, by the way, Representative Dr. John Santiago.
Yes,
he could help you. We actually got people that could help you. You want to be a doc? Let's figure this out. Let's figure this BMC thing out. Don't be asking people to pay for your nail tech license, but then out here Googling all sorts of blood things on WebMD.
Not for nothing, though. We're going to change topics real quick and talk about why they hate me so bad, right? So this past weekend, this past Sunday, shout out to D.A. Rollins, who came through my hood and came through and had a conversation with young men that are actually engaged in the activity in these streets. No other DA has done that. And I got her around a table with like 3 or 4 dudes that, you know, heavy shooters in these streets. Right. Just to talk about their experience coming home from prison and not having resources and not having housing and a lot of the no reentry plan and things like that. To be able to get them some resources and get them some help. And so, yeah, like the work continues, and I'm taking it day by day because, you know, I'm still trying to recover and I'm still weak, but I'm just very appreciative that all of these amazing people answer the phone when I call, and they be down to do some stuff that a lot of other elected officials are not down to do. Shout out to Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. She texted me. I got the article of the whole her going back and forth with the FBI about Black Lives Matter. She stood on the congressional floor yesterday and name dropped Violence in Boston as an organization doing work in her.
No, she did.
Yes, she did.
Where is that clip?
It's on my Twitter feed. It got retweeted like 20 times. Damn it, and she name dropped Violence in Boston with a few other amazing organizations as one of the organizations in her district doing work. And at that moment, I just felt like, yo, she really brought me to Congress with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get why they mad.
I would be mad too. Can we got to go back to the Thanos thing, but I want to go off this hate thing.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this NY award? What's popping in the city?
Oh,
and you can't bring Pap. You know the Dominican women that kicked them out of there. So you can't bring Pap. You can't bring the Vibranium Slinger. But yeah, can you tell us about this award? What's popping?
Yeah, so I had thought that Clark's sister did it because she's in New York. She follows me. She loves me to death. Shout out Kawana. So I get this letter, and it's like, you've been invited to this. You are invited as an honorary guest to this violence prevention thing, and it's something it's around victims, people who have been survivors of gun violence and stuff. And I get this letter, and I'm like, wow. So I go to Facebook and I thank her, and she's like, it wasn't me. So they've been watching my work from Queens.
Okay.
And so Saturday I will be speaking in Jamaica, Queens, in regards to gun violence prevention and the work that I'm doing here with direct service. And I'm an honorary guest, me and my family. So that's where we'll be at. We'll be in Jamaica, Queens, New York, 41st, and Vernon Boulevard, wherever that is.
But 40th side, 41st side ride. I'm thinking about Nas lyrics, and I'm trying to figure out
Queens.
where that is. Right.
Yeah. So
like,
I'll be
I
in
hear him
Queens
talk about
on
Vernon.
Saturday. Then me and Didi got invited to Milwaukee for a women's conference. And I think that's like in October.
Be careful. Be cold out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
In October. Huh.
And then what else is happening? Oh, I'm doing a women's conference, and I have
Black Women's Conference. What's
a
poppin'?
Black Women's Conference. I have some amazing speakers. You know Carla Montero?
I do not.
Carla Montero. Just recently, single black Cape Verdean woman, mom, just graduated from college, got 3 degrees in 4 years. Homeowner, single mom, struggled with like all types of mental health, struggled her way to the top, worked for Suffolk County Sheriff's Department, she now works for Brigham Women's Hospital. Amazing. She's going to be one of the speakers.
Sounds dope.
She's from here. She's going to be one of the speakers for the Black Women's Conference. Elle Hearns, black trans woman who runs the Marsha P. Johnson Institute. You know Marsha P. Johnson.
Right.
So she's going to be one of our speakers. Of course, Didi Delgado is going to be one of our speakers. Charmaine Arthur, who is currently working at Freedom House, and is a dope black woman, amazing speaker. And another young woman, Faya Angelo, dope activist and poet.
Love that.
Yes, sir.
I love that.
Yes, sir. We're still building up our speaker list. And solidifying all of that stuff. I have like over 30 black women in a group chat right now organizing around this amazing event. What's good?
Oh, no, I'm setting up for the next segment. Sorry.
And so shout out to Leanne, Hughes Odom, Courtney Boston, Irvine, just giving them stuff and them taking it over and just, shout out to Doris and Candy. Yo, Calvin, there's some black women in these streets. Shout out to Tia.
That's why we can't be too mad or too focused on these 6. This Boston 6. Yo, they should do a rival to the Boston 6.
You stupid.
Because, they had that group, the Boston 6.
I remember.
Snap. And y'all should be listening to Drake together because he dropped 6 so much. Snap. They got to do a battle record against you.
I'm done. Anyways, we have a block party coming up. Back to school block party for peace where we're going to give out 1,000 backpacks.
Hold on. Because that's the next segment. I got to post it. Backpack giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Okay, let's go. Backpack. First, real quick, shout out to Lee Nave Jr. He says, Monica, let me know. He can't comment on the violence in Boston thing for some reason, he said. But he says, Monica, let me know when you rode through Austin Brighton. We getting love from Austin Brighton out here.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. And you can't get more than 5 likes in your network.
You're a hot mess. So we doing this block party. This year will be 10 years that I've done the block party. So in celebration of doing 10 years, I'm inviting everybody. Mayor Marty Walsh, our number 1 sponsor, Thaddeus Miles, DA
Black Jesus.
Black Jesus in the house. DA Rollins, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, all the electeds, everybody's invited. It's 10 years we've been giving backpacks to kids. We give over 1,000 backpacks with school supplies in it. We feed everybody. And we're going to be doing college care packages for the kids going away to school because they get left out.
Right.
And then last but definitely not least, you hear about these khaki pants and button-up shirts.
So hold on, because I got to plug that one. But just real quick on this backpack, because I thought you threw a number out before as the amount of kids served through this. You had a number last year, right? Or 2 years ago? What was the number?
2 years ago, I forget.
It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 6,500 or something wild like that.
Sir,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Because what happens is we give away the backpacks, but there are still kids afterwards that need assistance throughout the year. So what we do is we give them care packages with like the school supplies, the binders, the notebooks. Shout out to Aisha Johnson, who's already donated to the who came to my house with boxes with school supplies in them already.
That's dope. That's dope.
I just think it's so dope to watch my community come together and us just like look out for these young people and make sure they have what they need. And we put real stuff in the backpacks, not just the one notebook and the one folder.
Right.
But like they be really needing real supplies, and that's what we try to do. So. And
it's actual supplies, so they didn't got to be ghetto like us. I saw this meme that was like, you're ghetto when all your kids' school supplies has your company logo on them. That's how, I ain't gonna lie, that's how we are in my crib.
Right.
We got pads and all that.
Shout out to Cradles to Crayons, who has made sure we've had backpacks. Andrea Swain from the Boys and Girls Club, who has made sure that we have backpacks every year. Reverend Liz Walker from Roxbury Presbyterian Church. My network is ridiculous, Cal. My network is ridiculous because when it comes to this work, there's no limits.
So you lucky we talking to you because we not built the same.
At
I love
all.
that movement, by the way.
Hold on. Did you not see my wife beater? Shout out to Mike Biggs, who made my wife beater. It says, we not built the same. We different.
I love it. I love it. By the way, have you seen his old pics? He need to be Mike Smalls now.
You're stupid.
Yo, the brother lost mad weight. He looking good.
You do know I've been knowing Mike since I was 12, right? So I remember him big.
I did not know that.
We
I
met-
just saw one of the pics of him with braids and fat. I was like, yo, who is that?
So we met in church because my mom's a licensed ordained minister, and his mom is also.
I already told you I'm hot out here, and you trying to bring it back to the mama and get me in trouble, and they gonna know where we are.
Nah, so we met in church. We became friends. He used to live in Arkansas. We went down and stayed at his house for like convention or whatever it is. What is it, like revival?
Assembly stuff. Right,
Yeah. And ever since then, that's been my brother.
It's dope.
We done went through life together, got grown, had kids. He supports me. I support him. I had him perform at the block party one year.
hot.
He makes my shirts.
It's hot.
Yeah, he's
It's a
dope.
lot of love.
He's dope.
It's a lot of love.
Yeah.
Should get you some of that.
And then last but not least,
All right, let me hit this. Hold on. Pose.
you ready? You ready?
So the Khaki Killers.
The Khaki Killers Straight Pride parade that's supposed to be happening August 31st. We're doing the counter protest to it. And you know, Cal, we marched through these streets already. I don't want to keep
Right.
marching. So we proved our point. 45,000 people marching. These are the same dudes, by the way.
Right.
Um,
Right.
So I said, instead of this time, let's protest differently. Let's protest and rally at City Hall. Invite some dope people.
Okay.
Fingers crossed, I have an amazing black trans woman that we're gunning for right now, and I have
shit.
5 people working on it. Shout out to Attorney General Mara Haley, who is like, yo, she's so dope. She's so dope. We've been
In real
texting
life.
back and forth, and she's been holding me down.
Right.
I'm also trying to get her to come and speak, and if all goes well with her calendar, she says she'll do it. And just organizing, like, basically I'm using my platform, but having other people speak because I'm an ally of the LGBTQI community, so I'm organizing and using my platform to uplift those voices
Right.
against this hatred, homophobia, racism, whatever you want to call it. But we protesting different, and I had somebody jump on my post today, like, why we ain't confronting them, not realizing how dangerous it is for LGBTQIA
It's not funny,
people
y'all.
to confront white supremacists without a plan. When we did the march, we had a plan. We had nonviolent de-escalation training. We had legal. We had marshals. We had our own protection, things like that, because it's not as safe as our white LGBTQI friends and allies. For black folks to do the same thing, we get beat, maimed, and killed for the same exact thing. And so when people was trying to critique me, I was trying to explain, like, listen, we got to do something different, but also let's get out of this mantra of always just wanting to march and then not doing nothing afterwards. These people didn't come here. They live here.
You said all month that it was going to be like Black LGBTQIA month.
Right.
Plus.
Right.
LGBTQIA plus.
Right.
And that you was going to be donating to those organizations.
Right. And so the goal is to uplift those voices, because, like, if you're not a part of dismantling racism, white supremacy, and homophobia the rest of the year, your march is trash.
Right.
Right? And there are people that need protection throughout the whole year.
Right.
There are parents who are raising trans kids who they walk out the door and they are petrified
Right.
of what may happen. And so that's the work that I'm interested in and focusing on, and not giving them a larger platform than what they need, because these dudes literally, they're like the mayonnaise crew. They don't got no girlfriends, and so yeah, that's
hard.
It is.
Without black love, it's hard.
Yeah,
I
man.
understand. I almost want to, I want to like not say a word and see y'all and just go,
Bring it in.
let the bear get his paws on you. You're in need of a hug.
Right.
I understand that it's hard.
Right.
You can't do these little dance off. By the way, y'all ain't done a dance off in a minute.
Facts.
Right? We need that.
Yeah.
The streets need that.
Yes, sir.
You ain't been having that.
Right.
You ain't been having that. You can't take these adorable pics with your husband sleeping with his child. You can't. You're not getting that. And these are all moments that are dope. Not to shame anyone who can't have a kid or anything like that. It's just to say that black love is needed. That black joy is needed. And when you don't got that, you just get filled with all the hatred, man. And it's crazy.
Listen, I'm grateful. I'll tell anybody. Life ain't perfect, but I'm grateful to have a husband who I don't have to spend a whole bunch of time with homophobia, any of that stuff. Clark's down for whatever.
Right.
I said, babe, we going to Pride. He's like, that's where the party's at.
Right.
So,
right, right.
you know, even just being a cis heterosexual black woman, I'm grateful of who I surround myself with, the standards that I've set for myself, and just the people who I'm in community with, because I'm in community with some dope people.
Right.
And so utilizing my platform to
Yeah.
uplift those that
Ari said dance off.
Uh.
Ari, those dance offs are everything. They are hilarious.
we could do a dance off
And
soon.
Facebook, I don't know why they didn't take them down. Maybe because it was so short.
Mm-hmm.
But when y'all did those, did you get muted?
No.
Yeah, like sometimes they mute my stuff from like a year ago. Like your thing got muted because I had too much
Yeah.
audio, and y'all were doing like 2-3 minutes and didn't get it. Was
Nah, they didn't mute me.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
So we need those, Ari. So shout out to that, and salute to you, man, for looking so beautiful that day. It was dope to see them.
Yeah,
was
my
dope to see
babies,
them.
my babies. I
And
love
we
my
were turning
babies.
up out there, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing these little videos. I'm like, yo, put Mo's favorite song on. So we put that Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Yo.
The-
Had the little red carpet out there. This is all good stuff.
you know what my
man.
new
Warm the
favorite
heart.
song is though? Pressed by Cardi. You ain't heard it?
No, not
You
yet.
got hit. It's tough.
I'm gonna write that down.
Pressed and Clout. Clout is her and her husband. They do anything for clout. You gotta hear it.
I'm gonna get both of those.
And Press. There's like she's like they say my name for clickbait. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's
Shout out to
crazy.
Shay 413, my homie Randy as well from
Yes,
that
sir,
side of the
yes,
side of
sir.
the state, the west side.
Shout out to Sticky, from 413 as well.
Shout out to Buffy for no other reason than your name is Buffy, and I just love it.
Right. Shout out to Buffy.
Shout out to Buffy
and
Just-
ATL, man.
Right, right. Shout out to Buffy, yo.
Yeah.
But no, that was ill. But one thing you said that I love that we are struggling with, white people struggle with, and men of color struggle with. I've been talking about this with the goddesses recently, is that you was like, I'm not leading this.
Oh yeah.
I am not of that community. I
No,
can be an
no.
ally, but I'm not going to lead this because it ain't my lane.
Right. So I'm not leading it. So I took my platform. I created the invite because I have a whole base of followers that know me from the first march. But what I'm doing is I've reached out to Bagley. I'm waiting to hear back from them. I reached out to Glass. I'm waiting to hear back from them. I've reached out to multiple different LGBTQIA organizations to try to say, hey, I want you to come on and be a leader of this. I just want to use my platform and my resources to support you, but I don't want to be the voice.
Right.
Also, shout out to Mayor Mark McGovern, who
Cambridge.
who
Oh,
honored
she got that award, Joe.
yeah, who honored my friend Kahari. And after I received the honor, pulled me to the side and was like, whatever we can do to support you. Shout out to Silas, who made it happen. And so shout out to Mayor Mark McGovern, who is really dope. Who's like, whatever resources you need, let us know. Same thing Mara said to me.
And you didn't break down. You got close
Yeah, I
like
just-
twice. I saw you. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. She's on the cusp. It's coming. You know how when they roll up and you can't even blink because you know it's going to go.
It's going down. I had to not look at Shay Shay
man.
either because
I know.
Shay Shay was in the crowd. But yo, I'm a miss Kahari. I love him. He was amazing. Every time I got ready to organize a march, Kahari was like, I'm a follow black woman. I'll take care of the finances and organize the accounts. And yo, he's just always been super supportive, even within his own struggles. And I'm gonna miss him forever, yo.
That's ill.
Forever, I'm gonna miss him.
That's
But it felt good. I'm gonna send the award down to his mom.
That's L.
In the program and everything because I couldn't think of anybody more deserving. Yeah.
That's L.
So that was dope. And so now we gotta, do what we do here. But I really want people to focus on the fact that if you're not a part of all these organizations that are helping dismantle the stuff that these dudes come and do every year, because at this point, the white supremacists show up every year.
Right.
So like, we can't march every year. I mean, we could, but we need to be trying to dismantle the fact that they feel comfortable to do so
Right.
every year
Right.
and what that looks like. And that's what I want to focus on because one of the things that was said to me was like, you have 45,000 people march with you, but where they at now? And I want to be able to answer that question. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I have 45,000 people show up to Roxbury, but where they at and what are they doing now?
Right.
And we need to be able to answer that. So
And I hate when people bring that up to like discredit because like,
Right.
people came together on a sense of love. That was such an act of love. And now you're saying that somehow because that is not 45,000 every single day on the streets or every time somebody gets killed or whatever, that somehow that didn't matter that day or that was a fluke. People come together. There's this book called The Social Tipping Point, and it talks about these movements and when that energy is harnessed.
Right.
And that's something that you do really well. Channel us, bring us together to where like we are needed.
right. And you're absolutely right. And I'm still having conversations with people saying, hey, 3 black women led that march because they keep giving credit to other people.
Right.
There's another organization called Solidarity Against Hate who's organizing a similar event on the 31st during the time period that I'm organizing an event. And so I go to their page and I see a picture of me, I see language of mine. And so I reached out to the people from over there and they corrected it or whatever. But it's like they gave credit to the city of Boston for that march. And I was like, whoa, pump your brakes.
Hold on.
So 3 women of color did that.
Right.
From Roxbury.
Right.
Make sure you mention that
Right.
with my photo that you're using. Because quite often our intellectual property gets stolen and we don't get the credit that we deserve. And they tried to give that credit for that march to like the women's march people
Right.
and all kind of
March
other
for
people.
Our lives and all
yeah,
that. Right.
and it's
Right.
like, nah, that's not
Right.
player, that's not
Right,
that's
right,
not who
right.
did that.
They're like, damn, they bust 45,000 people in from Parkland. It was like, or a lot of them people came from local. And y'all, I always been saying it, y'all, that's the first time that something got jacked from downtown and brought to the hood.
Right.
Because you know, like 15,000 of them people wasn't even trying to come over here. They're like, but why is it not at the Common? Why are we starting
Hold on.
somewhere
They're
else?
like Madison Park, that's in Roxbury. Are you
Right.
sure?
Brought it to the hood.
But can I tell you the most amazing feeling in the world nobody can ever take from me is when I stood up on that truck and looked down Malcolm X Boulevard and there wasn't a spot open in the street because it was people for blocks.
Right.
And I was like, yo,
How black women have more people marching than Trump's inauguration? Like
that part. And I looked at Dee Dee and I was like, yo, we did that.
Right.
Like we did that. Shout
Right.
out to Future. Shout out to Patrice, co-founders of Black Lives Matter, that had me the whole way. They sent a whole team down here. They sent the documentary team. They sent me support. I can still call her on the phone and have those conversations. Y'all don't even understand what it feels like to be able to have people check on you and have that level of support outside of your own city. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, I'll forever be grateful for that.
To the point of being built different.
Of course I'm built different. Because they don't love like I love, Calvin. They don't move like I move. They don't work like I work. And I don't want nobody to work just like me, but just know that we build different. Because when it comes to this work, man, I'm all in.
And yours is a coveted endorsement
That part.
from elected officials in real life.
Right.
It's a coveted endorsement in real life. People hit me all the time like, when are we doing this series? They want to do this at large, the council thing,
Yeah.
ASAP, right? And it's like, yo, I don't even know if they know about that other podcast. Though. I'll let them know y'all out there. Just in case there's 400 different people and y'all want to get them, I'll let them know that y'all out there.
Can I tell you, I still be shocked when I get the calls asking for my endorsement. I'm like, huh?
Right. Like you an elected official.
Right. I was like, you want my endorsement?
Right, right.
And shout out to the ones that have asked me for it, and I was like ecstatic to give it to them. And publicly, I've endorsed Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, D.A. Rollins,
Right.
City Councilor Michelle Wu, City Councilor Kim Janey.
Right.
You know, like I was happy to give it to them, but I still don't feel like, you know, that person to that level. But
Well,
I guess, you know, we see ourselves differently.
That's you're right. Right. That goes to a whole nother point
Right.
about the way we see ourselves compared to what we do
right.
and the way others see you.
Right. Because I'm always super concerned about how others see me. And like, I'm not this person y'all think I am. I'm a regular person. And Tito's like, so you'll never be regular again.
Right.
You're a political operative.
Or you're what they see and a little bit more.
Right. So, you know, it's
Or
dope.
that.
I'm appreciative. I'm still Moto.
Self-luminous.
I'm still Moto.
Self-luminous, like the moon. Shining light that can't go out.
That's dope. All right, Calvin, don't make me cry. Come on, let's move on
I'm
now.
sorry. I'm about to cry. You know, that's the movement. Self-luminous. How we see ourselves, what we do in our communities.
Yeah.
How we are with our children.
Hey, listen. So, lastly, I'll say is the district attorney's office put out an RFP for some funding.
Okay. For what?
For community organizations who are doing work around with victims and stuff like that. And I applied for it, and fingers crossed I get this money. I get to take 10 young men from my community out of the state to Philadelphia on a historic trip. So
That's dope.
I'm real excited.
What the
I'm real excited. I'm so excited.
Y'all going to Philly to what? See what they doing?
Yeah, so see what they doing. And shout out to Rufus, who said that he would holler at Temple so they could carve out space for us to come.
That's gonna be
Yo,
dope.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Just to be able to do it and take these young men. A lot of these young men ain't never left Roxbury. You know what I mean? So show them something different.
Right.
Make you feel different. You do
Right.
things different, you know?
Can we, because I've been dying to do this, can we do this Danos thing?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That's a little old, but I got to put it on here. Okay. So shout out to the homie Amy Blanchett from the South Coast.
Shout out
to Pat Duffy, Tony Taylor,
Yes,
some of the
sir.
folks on the West Side.
Yes,
Again,
sir.
Holyoke checking in. Thank y'all for being appreciative. Thank you so much, Amy. She said definitely appreciate the work that you do. And Paula Kelly, thank you for checking in, Paula. I was like, yo, where's she at?
Right.
Um,
Paula is my biggest fan. I
love
love
her,
Paula.
man. Love her. But so Thanos, what's up, man? Like this went down before you went down, right? Like this was popping off. DA in the Cape, huh? All
Yo,
worried
the
about
disrespect
Roxbury. Okay.
and the racist comments, but
Okay.
he totally overlooked the fact of how many black folks he done incarcerated and dragged, even though they were only 13% of his population. It was
Right.
mind-boggling.
Right.
So we were gearing up for that, and planning an event to rally around her for that before I got sick.
For the second time.
Yeah. Because of the level of disrespect that was shown to her that has never been shown to any other sitting district attorney by a colleague ever.
Right.
But I think it just goes to the level of understanding that in that position, as the first black woman ever to sit in that position, it's almost like an Angela Davis situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And realizing that, one of my biggest things is we have to have duality. Hold her accountable while supporting her, right? Because you don't know what it looks like when you're working in an organization and you're telling people to do stuff and they're like, nah.
Right.
Nah. So, the critiques about like, I know that Court Watch is heavy with the accountability, which I think they are amazing. But one of my frustrations is that, like, when you're literally saying to people, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and they're like, so I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think we are assuming that she is working within a department of people that love her, when in all actuality, there are a lot of people in that department who weren't supporters of hers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which makes the job 10 times more difficult.
Don't have her back.
Right. But also as a black woman, people tend to not want to listen to you. And so, catching that heat from the inside and the outside is a whole lot.
Sick.
And I think that, people underestimate what it looks like. Because, like, man, I've sat with her and had conversations with her and just been in space with her. And I'd be ready to get up and fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
So I could just imagine what it looks like when you're sitting saying, hey, we're not going to prosecute for this. And somebody is saying to you, nah.
Right.
Like, nah, I hear you, but nah. So... we gotta
Like
support
I
her.
just said to people, it like kicked me off the thing, but we changed the guard. Now we gotta guard the change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we changed the guard. Now we gotta guard the change. And I'm appreciative of Court Watch and people.
Oh yeah.
Being on her. I'm appreciative of that. Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm with that.
And it's necessary.
Right.
But it's like
right.
also take a look at the fact of like, if something's not happening, there's a reason. It's not necessarily a person is not following through on what they said. They're literally doing the tug of war thing.
She's absolutely
She's
trying.
tug of
She's
war
absolutely following.
with white supremacy, a system that has been in place forever that doesn't want to change. And there are people who financially benefit off of the mass incarceration of
Right.
black and brown folks who are
Right.
like, you done lost your mind. We're not doing nothing you tell us to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you fighting up against odds like that, I think that, yes, accountability is important, but it's the same thing I say with Marty Walsh. Like, I held him accountable. 267 days, I drugged that man.
Right.
Then he's like, then he's like, yo, let's sit down and have a conversation. And now that is like, we have built a relationship off of that. You know what I'm saying?
And we know it's 267 days because you have people trolling them doing the watch.
Right.
Doing the it's been 97 days.
Right,
since.
but
That
we've
was
built
awesome.
a relationship off of that to the point where, like, I troll him personally now.
Right, right.
So, like, I'm like, listen, so this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is where we're at in the conversation. Accountability is at the forefront, and he respects it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We go back and forth. I can genuinely call it a friendship now.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
Right.
But I think that, people think, oh, if I hold you accountable, then I must hate you.
Right.
And they don't realize a lot of the people I hold accountable write me checks to do this work and make sure that I'm able to do this work because they appreciate my transparency.
Right.
And that there's no alternative motive. Like, I'm not trying to be big famous. So
Right. That is ill. Damn, what did I have on that? Oh, the one thing I wanted to say. Somebody, shout out to the homie, Ann Chinchilla.
Oh,
Shout out to homie
okay.
Ann,
Shout out to
who
Ann.
who ran Thanos' campaign.
Yeah.
So she said something that I thought was interesting. She was like, "Oh, D.A. Rollins and D.A. I think it's Padalano are the people doing this, the Middlesex DA."
Uh-huh.
You know what's funny about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the other person that he didn't even mention, he came at Thanos. Here's the real racist ish that comes out of it. He comes at Thanos for being this activist DA. What people don't realize is that another activist DA got elected that same primary, shocked the world. Another woman, white woman, who's amazing, Andrea Harrington. It's really her and Rachel who are, she's just like Rachel. She's just a
Wow.
white woman from the Berkshires.
Wow.
She's doing everything Rachel's doing in the Berkshires.
And nobody's upset.
No one's mad, and ain't even really no black or brown people out there.
Right.
So the things that are okay, the diversion treatments. I remember the South Boston reps back in the day wanted to do a sobriety high school for kids that were going through alcohol or opioid issues.
Yeah.
The care that you show when it's only for white people, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
The second we try to do it. So Andrea Harrington's doing all the same amazing things D.A. Rollins is doing, and she's not getting a quarter of the flack.
But
that she's
also,
getting.
a lot of the stuff that Rachel is saying out loud was already in place.
Right.
Dan Conley was diverting his homies left and right.
Right.
It's just it was Dan Conley and not the black woman Rachel Rollins.
Right.
So like it's not
Right.
like a lot of the things that she's saying are drastically different. They were already in place. So y'all are upset because it's her. There's no way to get around it. I sat in a meeting the other day with her before I got sick. Actually, the day that I got sick, the day before I got sick.
Right.
And listen to people talk about, well, if you're not going to arrest people for trespassing, what about the kid that paints somebody's house or steals something out somebody's yard? Do you think that person should go away for the rest of their life? Like,
Right.
it's mind-boggling to me.
Right.
But again, like, it's because
Plus, it's not based in any fact. Like if you're trying to argue that by doing those reforms that you have more crime, that's actually false and debunked.
Right.
If you're saying that that's the way to keep people safe or hold people accountable, you're failing. That's not the truth.
Yeah.
And data shows that. I saw a candidate who they asked, "Oh, is D.A. Rollins? What do you think about her 13-point list or
Yeah.
15-point?" And the person was like, "Nah, I don't agree with it," and literally said like, "Oh, like we have to hold people accountable for these crimes. Now we're not doing it, and you're seeing the crime go up." And it's like, that's actually not based in any sort of fact. And anywhere that they've tried these reforms that this black woman is doing, they've been hailed.
Right.
And they've done good for the community.
Right.
New York is having its most peaceful times ever.
Right.
They're going down in the
Also,
violence.
Baltimore is the same size as Boston.
Right.
And shout out to oh God, why? She stood on my steps.
Oh, Marilyn
Mosby.
Right.
And like same size city, they had 300 homicides, right? And crime is decreasing. Things are decreasing.
I want to say they went down to 210 last year.
Right.
Which would be like a wild decrease.
Right, wild decrease
year.
Under her leadership. So it's been proven that it works. You know what I'm saying?
And a real decrease, not like the decrease we talk about where we're like, there's
Crime
10%
is down
less
in
murders.
Alston.
Right, right.
But teen homicides have doubled in Roxbury, but we're doing great, Massachusetts.
Right. No, that was like real. That was like you
Yeah.
go from 300 to 210 in a year.
Right.
Implementing these policies.
Yeah.
But when the black woman tries to do it in a bean, she's bad.
Right.
Okay.
We're doing great.
Trying to let this all sink in.
We're doing great. But what else you got? You good?
Shout out to Danielle Jones Williams, who said, Monica, in the meeting, the question was about punishment of stealing a grill. It was crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Danielle because she was there. I was like, are we really having a conversation about a grill?
Yo.
So yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Don't
to
barbecue
me.
shame, though. Like, grill lives matter.
Shut up.
Like, hold
Calvin.
on. Now, y'all going to put that woman's grill back. Damn it. You're going to put some respect
I
on
will
her
go
and her man
buy
ability
somebody
to grill.
a new grill if they think somebody needs to be incarcerated for a grill.
Yo.
But anyways, I just think we have to get up. Shout out to something that Danielle said that day.
Okay.
We're so used to being abused that we don't know what it looks like to be free.
Ooh, she'll do that to you. Shout out to the goddess
Shout
Danielle.
out to Danielle. She
do
said
that.
that to
She'll
me.
do
I
that.
remember that unequivocally. That we've been abused so much, we don't know what it looks like to not be abused.
Right.
So we're like, what do you mean you're not gonna lock us up?
or to these people, like, why are you complaining about a fee? Not saying, you know what, I thought they sent out a letter about the fee, but like, no, fuck them fees anyways.
Right.
Like, why these kids, how you not doing fees in Milton and you doing fees in Roxbury?
Also, the senior dues were $60 last year. You jumped it up to $120, so I had to pay $120 per kid. That's aside from prom tickets. That's aside from the extra release fee that they wanted. It's just
so
mind-boggling.
we're doubling fees on
Yeah.
the backs of black children.
Absolutely.
And that's okay somehow because they need to learn responsibility. And their white counterparts
Have
get
no
even
fees.
more services with less fees. They get even more. Yo, my son's school has iPad Airs for every kid.
That's
And they have
nice.
extras because one time his broke somehow, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, we have a bunch of extras in the office
No, we got teachers that's doing private fundraising to make sure that these kids have what
to
they
get
need.
books." I
Right.
remember when I was in Boston High, the teachers used to buy them cut rate to be
Uh-huh.
able to sell them for us for 10 cents because mad kids would come.
Yeah.
You know, to the point of the backpack giveaway,
And
mad
this is
kids would
why-
come with no.
This
no
is why I
supplies.
continue to do the work that I do, and I'm not going back and forth with nobody that don't do this work, who sit at home. Oh, what did Cardi say in this song? You really got to listen to this press
Gotcha.
song.
I'm mad.
She said, public opinions from private accounts. Yo, like she
Which sounds like if it ain't directed, it ain't respected.
pretty much, and it's just like, yo, you sit at she's like public opinions from private accounts, coming at Cardi from your couch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like if you ain't doing this work, I'm not. Whatever,
Right.
whatever. Like,
I can't.
I be half dead leaving my house. It's
Right.
just-
right.
like,
right.
people are surprised to see me at meetings. I was at Dudley Cafe, me and CJ the other day. I try to be incognito throughout the week and do like regular stuff.
Yeah,
And I always run into people who know who I am, and they're like, "You're outside. Are you okay?"
Right.
Like, even, and shout out to Tony, BPD officer. Really weird for me for a Boston police car to pull
Right.
over and be like,
right.
"Are you all right? Why are you outside?" And like stop traffic for you and the baby to cross the street.
It's ill.
People don't understand,
It's
like,
ill.
you know, it's hard for me to sit still, and I'm taking it one day at a time. But like the love that I receive from my community supersedes the hatred that I receive. So
Real love.
yes,
in
sir.
real life.
Yes, sir.
Real love in real life. Oh, boy.
What you got? What you got?
Because
Because we about to wrap up.
Right. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
have a lot. I mean, you saw that woman who pulled out the gun at the people at the Tennessee park.
Yep.
She got fired.
Oh,
so shout out
wait.
to
Can
her.
we talk about the 11-year-old girl who got beat up by Boston Police Department
Right.
downtown
Right.
and
He
Primark?
stole on her. That was ill.
Right.
That was
Punched
ill.
her in her face,
That was
11
ill.
years old, at Primark downtown. I got tagged in the video. I got sent the video.
Saw that.
People have sent me the information. Definitely want to make sure we put that on blast that, yes, she may have stole something. Never is it okay for a grown man to punch an 11-year-old
man.
girl in the face.
We just shouldn't
And
have
if
to
you
say
could,
these things.
and if you couldn't restrain her, you should have called for female officers to assist you, or called her parents. You know, you could have called multiple different people to kind of mitigate that situation. And people don't want to talk about it, but the moment my name get dropped in that situation, it's gonna turn into something way different.
Right.
And shout out to the people who are now getting involved and looking into behind the scenes. I got a phone call from the NAACP president, Tanisha Sullivan. Tito Jackson reached out to me. They're all trying to see how they can get involved with helping that young woman. And I hope that they drag that officer for filth. I'm
Right.
still trying to get my energy back, so I got to be careful of the fights that I jump in. I can't be at every fight, but I do want to highlight that it happened here in Boston, where we're so progressive.
Right.
I just want to say that out loud.
Liberal Massachusetts.
Liberal Massachusetts, the police officer beats and punches the 11-year-old girl in the face downtown Boston Primark. Shout out to y'all.
That's ill. That's
Yeah.
ill. We are glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, Cal. It was, listen, let me tell you something. I don't think nobody can ever, it's life-changing to have nurses and doctors and a chaplain sit in your room because they don't expect you to make it. You know what I'm saying? And to have a conversation with them and them say to you, well, like literally nurses were coming in because they were hearing about my case through the
Right.
hospital.
Right.
Like, we just were made aware of your case. Everybody's talking about it.
When I heard that, like, chaplain's here, like, shit's not good, I was, like, just so in bad space for a minute. I was like, yeah, I just want to be, like, over it. I just want to know that we're good and on a path to recovery.
Yeah.
Because I think some others were, like, shook that shit was going left.
It
B.
was. I never forget when I came out the OR, and they came to get me, and they was like, we want to sit you up to walk. And the moment she leaned me forward, my blood pressure dropped, and it was like 60/51. And they're like, nah, this is not looking good. And
What does that mean? Hold on. Shout out, troll out there. Can you Google and tell us on WebMD what does 60 over 51 mean? No, we gotta. She probably watching too. We got a professional on live. If you could Google real quick and just tell me what she's talking about with 60 over 51. Go ahead.
Yo, and like it kept plummeting. It was like 90 over 50. It wasn't where it was supposed to be. And Dee Dee was all over it. She's like calling hospitals, calling the hospital administration. She's talking to the nurse in charge. Shakira came to the hospital. They having words of prayer around my bed with my mom's. Like, it was real. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I'm like, God, listen, like, I know we don't talk often, but can I miss this appointment?
Right.
You know, like
Right.
my kids, listen, nobody's going to take care of my kids the way that I take care of my kids. And so it was real, though. They was like, yo, you was on your way out of here. Like, the fact that you still here is a miracle in itself, and we
Right.
can't explain it.
Right.
So,
We look at people, it's happened before with Felix Arroyo Sr.
yeah, so,
Man went to his own funeral.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like in real life.
yeah.
Man passed away and came back. And in the middle of yours, you like organized through your like almost funeral.
Yeah.
You like organized through
Well, the
it.
crazy part is like, so I went through the blood pressure thing. Then the next day they decided to give me a blood transfusion. I ain't never had a blood transfusion a day in my life. They come in, they talk to, I asked them, can I have a moment with my husband to discuss it before we make a decision? We sit, we talk about it. He's like, babe, I just want you to live. So we made the decision. I had the blood transfusion. Then the moment they got ready to send me home, my heart started acting crazy. They're like, you can't leave. He's at work. He's panicking. You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to make sure CJ and the kids is all right. And it was just a lot happening. And then I came home Friday morning. Friday evening, I get rushed back to the hospital. Lou's with me. Shout out to Luana.
Shout out to Guru Lou.
Lou's with me. We in the house. I'm like, Lou, something ain't right. My head, I can't see. My vision's blurred. They're like, I go back. They're like, you have vasospasms. And they're precursors to stroke. And it's restriction in your veins.
Dear struggling liver, struggling podcaster, Google what vasospasms are, please. Explain to us. You know tomorrow she's going to be dragging you on this.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second, y'all. She said 91 over 50, and I Googled last night,
You
and it says that
stupid.
91 over 50 should have been.
And yo, they're like, you gotta stay here. We gotta make sure you don't have blood clots and all kind of crazy stuff. Blood levels still low. And yo, every time I go to the hospital, and my doctor came to see me, I want to say 3 or 4 times. My personal doctor, she's like, yo, we can't explain why you still here, but you still here. And I think the thing that saved me was being pregnant, because my body was producing double
So much blood.
If I wasn't pregnant, Calvin, I wouldn't be here. So yeah, shit was real.
Look how God be working, man.
Hey,
If it wasn't for, look how it all comes down to the point of my trolling. Look
Yeah.
how it all comes down to the homie Pap and that vibranium, though. Now y'all, everybody like,
Yeah.
oh, what you talking about that, man? You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out to the vibranium slinger out here, huh?
This dude,
Shit
man.
comes in handy, huh?
Hey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, but my husband was a rock. Even though he was scared and he didn't know what was gonna happen, yo, he stayed right there the whole time.
Right.
He's like, yo, y'all are not sending her home until we know she's not dying on me.
Right.
And
in all that, the house didn't miss a beat.
nah.
The girls look beautiful. Jay
Yeah.
stole the night, though. He stole the night. Yo, it was so insane, though. He came, he was killing we were doing a little press thing. So the dude, shout out to the dude who was limo guy, also had this professional camera.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, yo, can you take these pics? So I'm up in there doing mad pics. This dude's like, the girls are like, yo, hold on. Like, he's stealing a show right now. He walking around with a personal lint roller and all. It was insane.
Can I just tell you the miracle that is that kid? So Jalen's mom is my first cousin.
Okay.
His grandmother and my mother are sisters.
Okay.
And his mom passed away from lupus. So at the age of 14, I took custody of him. And that kid, at first, I was like ready to pull my hair out, because it was like it could go one or two ways. But when I tell you that kid persevered, he persevered.
So.
He persevered. He is on his way to UMass Dartmouth, and he is just a walking blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because it could have went the other way. He could have took all
You
of
should
that
have said
pain.
where he's going, because you know they ain't feeling you up there. They ain't feeling you. You kind of hot up there. You kind of hot up
He
there. I'm
took
just
all
saying.
of that pain and turned it into power, man. We proud of you, Jay.
Oh, snap.
And my baby, Ariana, going to Johnson & Wales for fashion design.
It's wild.
All right, we got to close the show, y'all.
Yo,
It's been dope. You know, I'm here. I'm
Mo's
breathing.
here.
I'm sorry. I apologize for breathing. But this has been Activist Hour. Now we got to plan out these shows for these elected officials.
The candidates are coming. Look, the
Yes,
candidates
sir.
are coming. We're going to get this right. Maybe we do a couple of them next Wednesday.
Yeah.
The candidates are coming. We're going to do this right. They're all hitting us up. I doubt they're hitting y'all up. Because I'm pretty sure we're way over 400 as of like now, and it's not done. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, this has been Activist Hour on a Wednesday, 6 to 8. We're gonna try to do 2 times a week. We pushing it. You know, I had some little medical setbacks, but we back live and direct.
Medical setbacks.
You know, I'm breathing.
Yo.
So yeah, truly appreciate all our supporters. I appreciate all the love to me and my family. And appreciate everybody that's been holding us down and still support us even through the hatred. The love is real, and
Right.
we'll see y'all next week. We out.